enigmatic.
Why, hello there, guys, gals, and potential cat bathing noises that probably won't pick up on the mic, but my cat is definitely taking a bath next to me. I'm Enigmatic, and welcome back to the Hardcore Sinking Sapphire Nuzlocke Part 2. This is just a brief intro before we get into the thing to say that if you missed the first part, go check it out. Link in the description. And if you don't remember all of the rules for a Nuzlocke, a Hardcore Nuzlocke, or the Sinking Sapphire as a ROM hack, those are all included in the beginning of the first video, so you can go look at that. Yeah, and then we'll just get right into it. Also, I apologize if the fan picks up in the background. It probably shouldn't, and if it does, then you definitely can hear Luna taking a bath. But here I am, going into the cave to fight Senor Aquagrant, who is really not that impressive. I just left in the battle to show that my Pokemon after the gym have become beasts of destruction. Destroyer, of course, one-shotting a Carvana, and Wigglefeet, just one-shotting everything that it comes across. So in this part, which you'll probably again see in the title / thumbnail, we're gonna get to Brawly, and there's a bittersweet surprise waiting for us when we get to the gym fight. But for now, we're just going to discuss the journey. I left in a lot more time to discuss, however the section of gameplay is not as big between the opening of the game and Roxanne, and between Roxanne and Brawly. So there's actually less stuff happening, so the video is going to be a little shorter, but I left in more time to just talk about what's happening and enjoy just Sinking Sapphire, you know, for people who are fans of anything. There's nothing really happening right now. I did get a Miracle Seed, which was good. It boosts any Grass-type moves used by 1.3 times power, which means it's like roughly 33% stronger. So a 100 base power move would be 130 base power, which I don't have a 100 base power Grass move, but that's cool. And here I am selling some X items because I don't get to use items in battle, and they're worthless, as well as revives. I kept the zinc because I wasn't sure if I would need it, just in general. And then I left this in to explain that I am doing the bags, or whatever that is, the punching bag training, but only like whenever I think about it. It doesn't affect too much. It does make Combustion stats a little better, but in this like hardcore version of this, given that it's my first hardcore Nuzlocke, I'm not too pressed about making it even harder for myself. So whenever it occurs to me, I did use it. Oh, and that was a funny little bit where I couldn't talk to the guy because I kept missing. I think I cut out an extra one. Anyway, back to the speed up here. We get the Old Rod here in Dewford, which is a lovely name for a place, and then I didn't get the encounter right away. I went back across the ocean up above the Rustboro City to get this encounter, which is a Magikarp, and for a second I thought Magikarp was water flying like Gyarados, but he's not, which means he would have died to cut if I would have gone for that. And then here's, you know, Piddlefeet putting in the work, being a real team player, putting things to sleep and hitting them weakly so that I can catch them, and just Piddlefeet the Recruiter is what his new nickname is, because he just helps me get encounters. So this is a Magikarp that's really good when we get it to a Gyarados. Gyarados is unbelievably good in Nuzlocke. Just level 20, fully evolved, powerful mon. Anyway, back at Dewford. Again, funny name. Getting an encounter. Nothing was biting until eventually I got an encounter, which is really the only way that's going to end. And the encounter is a Sheldor, which Cloyster's a pretty beefy Pokemon. And this Sheldor has Skill Link, which means that any moves that hit 2 to 5 times, hit 5 times every time. So a move like Icicle Spear has a base power of 15 or 35, but because it always hits 5 times, it ends up being 90 or 100 base power, if you think about it that way. So Skill Link, I think, is an incredible ability, and I'm actually quite excited to get a Cloyster if he lives long enough. I named him Niagara because that's the first thing I thought of when I thought of water. That's it. Also, I forgot to name the Magikarp. I will do that eventually when I get a name raider. And then here's me fighting a Backpacker, which really is only going to go one way, given that my starter is a Combustion. That's just the reality of it, you know, fighting type starter, normal type Pokemon. I mean, come on. Yeah. So in between the last gym and these Pokemon, there's really not much. Oh, Piddlefeet learned Shockwave, which I didn't realize. I thought the ability turned all fairy moves into normal moves. I didn't realize it turned everything into a normal move. So I thought Shockwave would be different. It is not, and I will learn that later. The level cap for the next gym is level 19, so I had to kind of play a little cautious in terms of not leveling up people to that. But it doesn't matter, because the next gym's so close that I had to grind an unreasonable amount of time to get everybody up to level 19. But I did it, and this is where I learned that Shockwave is a normal type move, because it was not super effective. And I was very distraught, and I checked the summary, and I realized my mistake. And that's that. However, Disarming Voice doing fine. I think this is a trainer, right? Just checking, because this seems like I'm doing an encounter, but I think it's a trainer. Luna has gone back to sleep. It is quite adorable. I'm glad that she has chosen to not be awake for this portion and yell at me. But yeah, my Pokemon are pretty good right now. They're pretty above the levels of everybody around here, and they're all water types around here, so I'm like all fishermen, so I'm prepared for water types. So this really isn't too stressful of a portion of the Nuzlocke, in my opinion. I am worried about the gym, though, just in general when we get to it, because of a few different reasons. Chief among them being what now appears to be a very sharp level curve of level 19. There are a few of my Pokemon that are very close or at level 19 by the time we get to the gym. That's because I've been using them to fight all the water types, but the rest not so much. Anyway, here's another encounter on this route, which is a Krabby. I wasn't too excited about Krabby. I ended up utilizing him in a very particular and cool way, but generally speaking, right now he's not doing much for my team, but he is doing more than like half of the other ones, because he made it on the team of 6 anyway, so that's cool. So I'm glad that I caught the Krabby. I don't really want to tell too much about what the team's going to be before we get there, so we'll come back to that. Anyway, Draining Kiss was debating because it does give me HP back, but Disarming, hits 2 different Pokemon in a doubles battle. I was like, how many doubles battles are there really? And we'll see if I regret that in the future. Also, Patty, the Krabby. If I need to explain that joke, then I shouldn't have made it. Anyway, now we're in the tunnel, and it's time for an encounter after I talk to this man, who gives me Flash, which is still a TM, and man, do I not miss having Flash as a TM. I'm just going to say that about the future games. I appreciate not having Flash. Flash is dumb. Anyway, my encounter for the cave is a Rhyhorn. Seems cool. Don't get me wrong. Rhyperior, awesome Pokemon. Hard to evolve into, and also there's like Pokemon with Sturdy in this cave, which is amazing for a Nuzlocke, because they can't die in one hit. And also there's an Axew, which is a Dragon type, which I don't have, which I think is cool. Yes, Rhyhorn did in fact almost kill 2 of my Pokemon, and I switched in Wigglefeet because I knew his ground type moves wouldn't hit me. Didn't realize I don't know what typing Smackdown is. I still don't actually, but it hit me. And then, once again, Piddlefeet. Just recruiting Pokemon. Really worth more than I'm giving Piddlefeet credit for. I'm realizing while I'm recording this, because he helps out quite a lot. He, she, they, Piddlefeet helps out quite a lot. I did get Whirlwind. This is incredibly valuable in the gym fight, just to say that. It was way more, I was thinking maybe I could get it in tandem with some like setup move, also Roller Coaster the Rhyhorn, which I couldn't fit, so he became Roller Coasty. I thought maybe I'd use like an entry hazard plus Whirlwind, but really, the fact that the Pokemon set up in Sinking Sapphire, Whirlwind came in really handy. And this is just me testing the waters in the gym, and learning that Wigglefeet is going to be very important here, because he one-shots a lot of stuff, because Staravia / Staraptor is incredibly, it's fast, it's physical, and it's flying type, which is great for a fighting gym. Even though he is normal, which I think all the birds are normal flying, right? But anyway, that was just me plowing through the gym leaders. And then, now it's on to the grinding section, which isn't going to be too interesting to watch, to be honest. It's a lot of leveling up to level 19, dropping the Pokemon off, grabbing another one, and so on and so forth. I did include some of it, because to show that I did actually do the grind, and you get a good idea of the variety of Pokemon that were in the cave that I didn't get, because I got a Rhyhorn. There's a Geodude with Sturdy. There's an Onix with Sturdy. Not that Onix is good. Onix is garbage. It has low HP. But it has Sturdy, so you get around that. You just make him fast and but anyway, I got a Rhyhorn. So this is the grinding part, which took, like, an hour, I think. Editing it down into about 8 minutes is pretty interesting. Maybe not even 8 minutes, but, Niagara here with the ice attacks is pretty cool. Just showing off that skill link that I'm sure is going to come in very handy later on. It also has Protect and Supersonic, which are both generally just good. Like, it's got a stab move in terms of Bubble Beam, but it doesn't have good special attack, so it's whatever. Actually, I don't think it has good special or physical attack. Skill link's really good. It doesn't matter. But yeah, this is just me running back to the PC, dropping off a Pokemon, running back to the cave, grinding some more Pokemon, and so on and so forth. I think it'll get... I don't want to start talking about my, like, strategies for building a team until we get to that, because I did leave that in. So, we're just grinding now, you know? We got Serenade, level 19 with Lucky Chant. I'm not going to use that. We got... Ooh, I did accidentally delete a move that was really important on somebody. It wasn't Serenade, so I was really careful. As you can see me failing to use the buttons properly in this moment. I did that before and actually deleted an important move on somebody. And I can't remember what it is. But somebody lost a cool move. Oh, here. Knockoff. Krabby learns Knockoff by level up in this game. That immediately made me think of something really cool. I was like, oh, I can use Krabby, who is a physical attacker, to just kind of get in some solid chip damage. You know, take off like 20% of their health to make sure that Wiggle Feet kills, and knock off any berries that they have that might mess with that. So I was at that moment I hadn't decided I was going to take him, but I had a pretty cool idea. No, this is, I tried to get Magic Leaf, and then I was like, no, I have Cut, it's not physical. The Destroyer is a special attacker, so let me try and get rid of Cut, even though I know it's an HM and I can't, and then I was sad. And then I spent 3 minutes trying to forget it, but it's really hard because of the controls. Not the controls, but the button prompts. Anyway. Moving on. The Sheldor, Niagara is level 19, so I can't use it to grind anymore. Icy Wind, I decided to take over Shockwave, even despite the slight accuracy drop, because I thought maybe I could use it to drop their speed in a scenario. Not for this gym, by any means, but going forward. Night Slash, just a good, strong move. Better than Peck. Probably not more coverage than Peck, but, you know, it might not hit as many types, but it's gonna do more damage to the ones I do hit with it. Patty here, level 19. This is just the progression of level 19s. At a certain point, I think in the last 3 Pokemon after Sidnor Combuskin here, I realized that I wasn't going to use them in a fighting gym, because one's normal, one's Rhyhorn, which is Rock, which is weak to fighting, one's something else, and then one's Magikarp. So I knew there were 4 that I absolutely were not using, so I wasn't going to go level them up, which would have been annoying in a ground and rock type gym, because Magikarp's not going to hit. Also, Magikarp would have evolved to Gyarados at level 20. Ralts would have evolved to the second form at level 20. I'm getting shafted by this level 19 level limit, just saying. But given that fact, I'll go ahead and say, no, I'll wait. Okay, now grinding is done. Everybody that is possible to go in is level 19. I don't know what this is. I think I just did this to give me a breath. No, okay. I was trying to sort through which ones I didn't want to take, and I finally decided to say, what does organized boxes do? Because, oh, it lets me move Pokemon like I could do in older generations. I should have assumed they would have kept that. Anyway, Rhyhorn, Patrat, Skitty, all weak to fighting, not coming. Magikarp's a Magikarp, he's not coming. Wiggle Feet is a flying type, and it is powerful. It is absolutely coming. And I think the next one I decide on is Krabby / Sheldor. Pretty neutral. Oh, no. Combuskin's coming, because he's just got great stats. And Feather Dance. I eyeballed Feather Dance for that ×2 drop in attack stat, which, given the physical nature of fighting type Pokemon, is going to be clutch. Krabby and Sheldor are coming next because they're pretty neutral to anything in the gym, and I figured they wouldn't die in one hit to anything, plus knock off for Krabby and protect for Sheldor to scout for things, just to see what they're going to be hitting me with. I did bring Psyduck because he has Confusion, even though he doesn't have the most, by any means, special attack. I figured I could get some damage. I figured wrong, by the way. Ghastly and Routes were no-goes because they don't have any physical defense. And while Ghastly is a ghost type, means he won't be hit by fighting, I figure they're going to have something for that in this ROM hack. So I'm not bringing Ghastly and I'm not bringing Routes because I don't want them to die. We brought Sheldor, like I said, because of Protect, and I figured Ice Sickle Spear would do something. And then we brought Petalil just because she's our standard, you know, Sleep Powder, Growth Synthesis Cut setup. We kind of have a setup Pokemon, theoretically. So that's the sitch. That's what's happening. Those 2 are coming, those 4 are coming, those 6 are coming. And here's the important part. So when I recorded the Brawly fight, hold on, I think actually we got to go through the team. We'll get to that in a sec. So we have items. We have a Silk Scarf to do more damage with our quick attack, just in case it comes down to that. It'll actually multiply it by, I think, 0.2, like 1.2. Whirlwind for pushing people out who are bulking up later on. And Flying attack, because our attack and our speed are both pretty good. Intimidate. Intimidate's also good. Speed boost, Cherry Berry, in case... I put Cherry Berry on a few people in case we get paralyzed. I figured maybe they would have Force Palms, which has a chance to paralyze. I wasn't sure. But mainly, Combusken's here to do solid damage, being a strong attacker. Feather Dance, Intimidate combo, ideally putting them, like, unable to do damage to my Wiggle Feet, which was the idea. 50 attack Krabby, the strongest of all my Pokemon for some reason, has knockoff, like I said earlier. And he has a Quick Claw to make up for his speed, so maybe I can get knockoff before they hit me, was the idea on that one. Cherry Berry again, pretty lackluster stats, like pretty middle of the road. Basically just there for confusion. I think I went back to show the Cherry Berry and the Quick Claw. But yeah, he's just there for confusion. Water Pulse, theoretically, could come in to confuse somebody with Stab, but unless it's like a fighting / something that's weak to water, and I can't think of anything. Skill Link, the defense is good. That's important. I can take a hit, and I can do like some chip damage. I can do a little bit of damage with Icicle Spear. Yeah, it's 25 power, so hitting 5 times means 125 power. You know, math. Miracle Seed means that Cut does a lot more damage. That's all I got there. Alright, so that's the team, and I want to say that when I recorded the Brawly fight, the footage exploded, so I made a remake, and I already recorded the audio for that battle separately. So we're going to cut to that kinda now-ish. Alright, so welcome to the post-post commentary. After getting to the end of editing the full video, I realized that the entire Brawly fight didn't capture, so I recreated my team in Pokemon Showdown, and I made a Brawly team in Pokemon Showdown based on his Pokemon. The movesets aren't exact, the EVs aren't exact, of course, because I don't have any clue, but I did my best to recreate the events that happened. Wiggle Feet did in fact kill Machop in one hit, Wiggle Feet did kill Meditite in one hit, and then that's where things get a bit hazy until the end. So just enjoy some random kind of chaotic stuff. I just kind of had a fight with myself. I mean, with Brawly. And I tried to make it interesting. There's a few facts that I remembered that are key. We'll get to them when they happen. But for now, Pancham having Aerial Ace was very scary. I remember that much. And I do know that Krabby came in way more... Sorry, Patty, the Krabby, came in way more clutch than it seems here. And I think this is the moment where, yes, okay, so in the actual battle, Oatmeal did in fact, he did not kill Scraggy, he did in fact die to Scraggy, so we have lost our first Pokemon in the form of Oatmeal, and I don't remember really what happened with Pancham, Scraggy, or Mindfu. So this part of the fight's kind of made up. It's a little awkward, but because the movesets are weird, but you know, it's still fun. There's still a lot of interesting things happening. Some bulk ups, some wing attacks, which don't do enough damage. I don't remember how I killed Scraggy. I do know he never bulked up in the original fight. I just did that to buy time. But Whirlwind happened a lot. He actually switched into Hariyama, which then switched back, which I Whirlwind out into Scraggy, which I Whirlwind. I think I Whirlwind again. Anyway, not important. I just will say the use of Whirlwind did happen in the original fight, and it was pretty cool. Niagara, I think, used Ice Spear to kill Pancham originally, which was really cool. Just kind of came in handy. It was touch and go. I protected on somebody. I forget. Dang it. But this is just me essentially eliminating Scraggy because he should already be dead in the real fight. And yeah, I cannot believe I lost all that footage. I will say it took me a solid 30 minutes to recreate everything that you see here in front of you on Showdown. So I did put in some effort to recover the lost footage. Patty came in handy, like I said, with knockoff a few times. I knocked off Hariyama's Citrus Berry when I used Patty. Other ones that I don't remember. Wiggle Feet. This section's kind of accurate. Okay? I did go into Combuskin. It wasn't a crit, so I had more health. I did Feather Dance to lower his attack. He didn't counter, but I threw that counter in there to account for the crit that just happened. And then I switched back into Staravia, which intimidated him. I think he did actually bulk up. The Bullet Punch was real, or he used Smackdown, one of those, but I think the crit would have done too much damage from Smackdown. So this series of events, it did actually happen with him doing about 8% per Smackdown because I lowered his attack so much. That crit Bullet Punch obviously never happened because he was using Smackdown, which didn't crit. My Staravia crit and killed him in one hit, bypassing the Super Potion from Brawly. And that is how the fight was supposed to end, and this ending of the fight's really bad, and it's kind of gross, so we're just gonna, bop, bop, bop. And then Hariyama was dead, obviously, to Staravia, who is still alive. Just to point out that fact. So, this is a weird way to end the episode. In the next one, you'll see that Oatmeal's dead, and we have our second badge, and this is quite an unfortunate scenario, but I do hope you appreciate the effort I put in to recreate the battle, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.